Welcome to ABC-7 Extra. I'm Adrian Ochoa in tonight for Saul Signs. This Friday, the high school football season will kick off here in the borderland. Now, it's another sport added to the mix as other fall sports like volleyball have already begun their seasons. In this age of COVID-19, school districts have had to navigate through some pretty turbulent waters. How do you have a season while at the same time making sure everyone stays safe? There were some bumps along the way. In-person practices first started back in June, but were then suspended that same month. A city order then called for all athletic activities to be pushed back until after September 7th. Teams then returned to practicing, and now a little more than 3 weeks later, the football season is upon us, and that will kick off on Thursday and then on Friday as well. Now, again, there have been bumps along the way. The El Paso School District has already canceled 2 football games for the Irvin Rockets after the school reported a positive case there, and the Isleta School District announced earlier this week 2 positive cases. One at Hanks High School, the other at Eastwood. And joining me now is the superintendent for the Isleta Independent School District, Dr. Xavier De La Torre. Dr. De La Torre, thanks for taking the time to be here with us.
Absolutely. Good afternoon.
Less than a week away from kickoff, if you could just talk about the challenges that the district has faced getting to this point and the challenges that you know you'll be facing down the road to get through the season.
Well, we treat the athletic program the same way that we treat our instructional program. We're very thoughtful and deliberate, and we certainly adhere to all the CDC, county, and local health authority guidelines. But we also understand that our students and student athletes spend a significant amount of their time not on our campuses or in our schools, and so we need to encourage them to continue and practice all of those measures that have been laid out so clearly for us for almost 6 months. But we've gone into a lot of detail, a lot of work, a lot of meetings to try and make sure that both our schools and our athletic facilities are safe and our student athletes are safe.
And if a student does end up testing positive, just what are some of the protocols that the district has implemented?
Well, we immediately notify the student's parents. The student is asked to go into self-quarantine. Prior to that, there's a relatively detailed survey and process to determine who the student has been in contact with, who has he associated with, not just at school or on the athletic field, but at home, so that we can help the family make sure that they're all healthy. And then, of course, we notify the rest of the parents on that particular team so that they're aware of both the fact that a student has tested positive and that we've been successful in the contact tracing, and that we can either move forward or we need to suspend practice or a team schedule for a protracted period of time.
Question about the fans. Will you all be allowing fans at football games this coming week?
Yes, we will. If what you mean by a fan is a parent or close family member. But what we decided to do was to give each student athlete 2 tickets for their family members, so that they can come and support their student athletes. And we believe, and I still believe, we're quite capable of making sure that all of the elements are in place that insulate and protect the student athletes, not just our student athletes, but the opposing team's student athletes from any heightened vulnerability.
Yeah, this is very similar to what you're currently doing for volleyball. There's been a difference in approach between the districts. EPISD, SISD are not allowing fans at home games currently for volleyball, but YSD is a limited amount. You mentioned each player getting 2 tickets to give to their parents. EPISD then, though, made the decision to not play games where fans are allowed to attend. They said originally there was an agreement between the school districts to not allow fans. What exactly changed with your district into allowing fans, a limited amount?
Well, they may have made the agreement with the wrong person, because I was not aware of an agreement. I thought that the understanding was that we would communicate our plan with one another and try and work cooperatively to make it positive for the student athletes. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's about the student athletes. if both districts insist on not allowing their parents to attend, then I think I have a responsibility to do whatever it takes to let those student athletes participate, even if it means retreating from having parents come support their student athletes, which I think is a little unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. I guess just why was it so important for you to allow, at the very least, parents to come and support their children?
It is important. They've invested a lot in making sure that their students, their student athletes, attend practices, weight training, conditioning. They are their primary support. And I'm quite capable, and we're quite capable, of making sure that we can insulate 30 parents from one another during a volleyball game, and that we can likely do the same thing during a football game, but not at the expense of losing the opportunity to have our student athletes participate in the football game.
Is this going to be the plan throughout the entire season, or is there a possibility you might get possibly more fans in there, or is this going to be the way it's going to be throughout the season?
What we do and what we've always done is we will monitor the data relative to the 7-day positivity rate. If that rate climbs and starts going in the wrong direction, we'll retreat to a tier 1 approach, which will mean absolutely no spectators, including parents. But if it remains at a level where we believe we can insulate and protect our parents and student athletes from any increased vulnerability, then we'll continue to allow the parents. And if things improve significantly, at some point, we'd like to welcome everyone back to support Isleta ISD athletics.
Just the last question I have for you, Dr. De La Torre, just your message to the parents and students of the YSD student athletes.
They've been tremendous. They've been patient with us. They've been supportive with us. They've trusted us when we reopened the possibility of practice, weight training, conditioning. And that's why I felt that if we could provide them with a safe environment and not risk the health and safety of the student athletes, that we would open our doors to two immediate family members, 2 parents, to come and support their son and daughter. And depending on the positivity rate, that will continue, unless, of course, it begins to jeopardize athletic contests with neighboring districts who feel uncomfortable. And I respect their system, but I really felt like the parents should have the opportunity to attend these contests.
Again, my thanks to Dr. De La Torre for taking the time. Thank you very much, Dr. De La Torre.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're watching ABC-7 Extra. When we come back, we'll hear from the athletic director for EPISD, the protocols they'll be implementing on game days. Also, what the Socorro Independent School District is telling us about possibly allowing fans at their home games. You're watching ABC-7 Extra, where news comes first.
You got him his first trumpet when he was 3, worked overtime to pay for private lessons. We're so proud when he finally made Honor Band. But have you talked with him about vaping? It can be dangerous and more common than you think. Find helpful information at vapefreepdn.org.
I'm Mayor DeMargo. Since my election 3 years ago, our city has faced many successes and many challenges. Through it all, my commitment to El Paso has remained steadfast, and I have full confidence and hope that we will again come together as before. We will continue to be a symbol of hope on the border for all to see. With your support, I will continue my commitment to serve you throughout a second term. I'm Mayor DeMargo, and I approve this message.
Do you need to use the restroom? No, my legs just feel really restless, achy, and heavy. Call them. I know they can help. Thank you.
El Paso varicose veins and comprehensive varicose veins in Las Cruces have helped thousands of patients return to a normal and healthy lifestyle by identifying the symptoms and treatments of venous diseases. If you are experiencing discomfort in your legs, call now for a free consultation, a free exam, and a free sonogram. That's right, free. El Paso varicose veins and comprehensive varicose veins in Las Cruces, committed to helping you return to a pain-free life.
For every moment of your life, there's a Ford SUV that was built for you. Upgrade to a new Ford SUV at your Texas Ford dealer today. with amazing deals on our best-selling SUVs like Explorer, Escape, and Expedition. See your Texas Ford dealer or shop online and use our pickup and delivery services. For a limited time, drive home a new Escape with $5,500 total savings at your Texas Ford dealer. Ford SUVs, built for Texas, built for you.
You bought him the newest gaming system, surprised him with awesome headphones, and got him all the upgrades. But have you talked with him about vaping? It can be dangerous and more common than you think. Find helpful information at vapefreepdn.org.
And welcome back to ABC-7 Extra. I'm Adrian Ochoa. Joining me now is Maria Kennedy, the athletic director for the El Paso Independent School District. Mrs. Kennedy, thank you for taking the time.
You bet. I'm glad to be here.
Well, already there has been changes made to the season after a positive COVID-19 case at Irvin High School. Their first two games have since been canceled. I mean, just what are the protocols in that situation, and how do you move forward from that?
Well, of course, you just determine that it is a positive case first and foremost, and then what kind of contact occurred with the rest of the team. And of course, we're always going to err on the side of caution. And so therefore it led to the cancellation of the first two football games for Irvin High School, unfortunately. But as we move forward, you know, this is an everyday thing. We're learning new things every day. We have to take every scenario, every case on a case by case, because we can't make just a blanket decision for everything that comes up. So it is very time consuming that we have to, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but we all have to take a lot of time to make sure that we're making the best decisions for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And as for fans, what are your protocols for fans? Will you be allowing fans at football games?
Yes. In fact, I am getting ready to send something to my soup so they can put something out on how that will happen. But, you know, I do want to explain how that really does work. By UIL regulations, it does say 50% capacity. But that's not really a true number, because when we talk about capacity in a stadium or a gym or wherever, we have to factor in, and I'll just use the football, for example, is we have to factor in the band and the flags, and if the cheer are in the stands, we have to factor them also into the number of bodies that we have to account for, and drill teams, and what we consider the essential for a football game. We have to count all of those. And of course, then we have to think about the social distancing, because every one of those students has to be socially distanced. So if you have a 200-member band, that's going to take up a lot of space. And of course, not all the schools have bands that are that big. So once we do that, then we can determine if we can allow, and how many fans or how many guests can we allow. So that's going to be determined stadium by stadium. There is no set number, you know, for any of our stadiums. None of them are the same. So we have to look at all of that every week and determine how many we can actually allow per student, or however we decide that we're going to however it is we're going to allow fans in. If it's going to be per student, and if that's the case, it's not just the football players. You know, we've got the band, we've got the cheer, whose parents would like to come in too. So how many will we be able to fit in a socially distanced world that we live in today?
Now, was there an agreement by the districts to not allow fans, like from all the districts to allow fans? Do you know about that?
We all, the athletic directors, had put a plan together. How that was, you know, how that was played out. You know, we all have our plans, and we all discussed it, and you know, we just hope that we can all kind of come back together and do what's best for the kids. And
obviously, you're pushing forward with having fans. I mean, just why is it so important to have fans on Friday nights and Thursday nights as well?
Well, I mean, the kids, it's for the kids. I mean, they want their mom and dad. I mean, we want our student body, you know, to experience a complete high school, the full high school experience. I mean, we want that, you know, but unfortunately right now, that's not that's not the way it is. And it's a new world that we're living in, and we just have to do what's best and make it work for all of us. So we hope that we can slowly but surely put more and more fans in. It just depends on, on what the virus does and, what the health department does, and their guidelines that we have to follow. That's why it's so very imperative that when we do have fans, that they all adhere to the guidelines, and of course the first and foremost is the mask. We don't want to have a mask police, so to speak. I mean, we want people to be in the stands and we want them to be able to enjoy the game, but we also have to ask that everybody follow all the guidelines that that are mandated, not just by us, but by the state and the city.
And I know for now you are offering those games online through a streaming service. I believe it's called Mascot Media. Can you just explain that, how that works?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, we are. And, that we've had the Mascot Media app for a while. We just have not utilized it to its full potential. So this was just a great opportunity for us to start doing that. I envision that in 5-10 years, I hope sooner, I may not see it come to fruition, but I hope that I've laid a little bit of the groundwork so that we have some broadcasting programs in our high schools that will put on some really good shows. I mean, I think we've got some potential sportscasters in our schools, and I think that the kids would have a lot of fun with it. Mm-hmm. And that's really why I've invested the time and some money to buying equipment for the campuses, that they will be able to actually do a live broadcast. Right now, they are just streamed. They are live, but there is no color to it. There's no commentary, but we're hoping that each week it's going to get better, and that we do have some kids that want to start jumping on and having some fun with it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. And what exactly is your message to the players and the fans who possibly will be able to go to these games? What message do you have for them that you would like to convey?
You know what? It's just athletics and sports are so important for everybody. I mean, we have all waited so long to be able to come back and compete. And we're just asking the kids, the parents, the community, that we get every opportunity to do that. Be patient with us. The kids, we want the kids to stay safe, be smart, practice the social distancing still and continue to do that, whether they're with us or away from us. And that we just ask that the parents take care of that and help us with the kids. With the they're kids. They want to be together. They want to be with their friends. They want to have family gatherings. They want to do all of the things that we're so used to doing. But right now, we just ask that everybody be a little bit more conservative and give us a chance to get through our football and volleyball and basketball seasons for 2021.
And just how challenging has it been for you, just with everything, a season unlike any other? We say that a lot, but just for you and the years that you've been working with the athletic department, for you personally. Well,
you need to ask that question. You just look at my face. Just look at any teacher's face right now. Everybody feels like what we've put in this virtual world for the last 6 or 7 months feels like it's been 10 years. I mean, it has just worn everybody. We're all exhausted. And, but you know what? The bottom line is we're all still here for kids. And that's the driving force. No matter what we do, everything we do is for kids. And if we can always remember that, then you know what? It doesn't matter how stressful it is. We're all going to be here and we're all going to do our job.
Well, Mrs. Kennedy, thank you very much for taking the time. I appreciate it, and best of luck this season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, I also reached out to the Socorro Independent School District asking about their protocols when it comes to fans. SISD Athletic Director J.J. Calderon tells me they'll be taking a week-to-week approach. Every Monday, they'll release their spectator and media procedures for games at the SAC on their campuses and on their campuses as well. Now, each week will be evaluated and they'll make adjustments when needed. So we'll be learning more on about this come Monday, and we will, of course, let you know. Now, you're watching ABC-7 Extra. Still ahead, we'll hear from an El Paso high school football coach about the challenges he faced leading up to kickoff. Stay with us.
It was my third tour in Afghanistan, and I was flying a medevac mission when I was shot through the windshield and we went down. So I strapped myself to the skids of the helicopter that rescued us and returned fire on the Taliban as we flew to safety. For that, I was awarded the Purple Heart and the Distinguished Flying Cross with Valor. I'm MJ Hagar, and we fought like hell to get everyone home safe that day. And I proved this message because my mission isn't over, while Texas families are still in danger.
At Supreme Laundry and Cleaners, we not only provide the best commercial and dry cleaning services, but we also have 7 laundromats serving the El Paso Metroplex. We offer multiple size washers and dryers that allow you to wash an entire week's worth of laundry in less than 2 hours. Our machines can handle your dog beds and even king-size comforters, and as an added convenience, we'll even do all the washing and folding for you, all in a clean and relaxing atmosphere. At Supreme Laundry and Cleaners, the customer always comes first.
The unknown is not empty. It's a storm that crashes and consumes, replacing thought with worry. But one thing can calm uncertainty: an answer, uncovered through exploration, teamwork, and innovation. An answer that leads to even more answers. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
Tired of being cooped up at home? Tired of that same old furniture? Not sleeping well? Let Dow's and Thomasville Home Furnishings help. We've been cooped up too, and our showroom and warehouse is bursting with new furniture and mattresses, all at 50% off. So if you broke the recliner, ruined the kitchen table, or just need a good night's sleep, don't worry about it. We've got you covered with 50% off everything and no interest for 3 full years. Dow's and Thomasville Home Furnishings. We're open and ready for you.
Wanted to take a look here at some other school districts in the El Paso area and whether they'll be allowing fans this football season. Cañotillo ISD will allow 2 family members per participant. San Elizario ISD and Clint ISD will not be allowing fans at this time. They say games will be streamed online. Now, no fans allowed for Fabens ISD either, but for Anthony ISD, only the parents of senior football players will be allowed to attend home games. Welcome back to ABC-7 Extra. I'm Adrian Ochoa. For high school coaches, it's been a difficult task getting their teams ready for a season they thought might never happen. But here we are. The high school football season kicks off on Thursday, and while teams will try to turn their attention to the X's and O's of the game, they still have to do their part in keeping themselves healthy if they want to keep playing.
I feel like as a coach, you're trying to game plan for both of them. And ultimately, 1, it's safety. We want to make sure the kids are safe. But, 2, we got to understand we're trying to make it week to week as well.
Now, instead of a 10-game football schedule, most teams will play an 8-game schedule. Putting the schedule together was a challenge since teams had planned on playing schools from outside the El Paso area. And with those games scrapped, they were left scrambling to find opponents.
And you knew no matter how much we were delayed, it was just going to be pushed back. But overall, I thought our district did a great job of handling that. We as coaches, we just stayed patient. And, like I said, I'm just happy to get to this moment where we can finally start.
And with the return of the high school football season, that also means the return of the Borderland Blitz. Our first episode this Friday night at 10:35, right after ABC-7 at 10. We're excited to be coming back, especially during this time that was filled with so much uncertainty. So we'll see you then. And to the coaches and players, best of luck this season. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you under those Thursday and Friday night lights. Thank you for joining me for this edition of ABC-7 Extra. Have a great night and an awesome week ahead.